Hello, so I had a question on one of my videos about what I do in my growing environment to combat some of the effects of, just the adverse conditions we have in Arizona. Because this is where I'm at. I'm growing in Mesa, Arizona, which is not that far from Phoenix. It's pretty much the same city. But in any event, so let me give you some background on what it's like here in Arizona. So in the wintertime, my humidity gets down to 10%, possibly less. And in the summertime, only for a few months, in like June and July and August, we have a monsoon season, and the humidity gets to about 30%. So it is very dry here. And a lot of orchid literature will tell you that you need really high humidity, like 50–60%, to grow and bloom orchids properly. And for a while, I really bought into this too. I had a humidifier running, I had fans going, I had all kinds of doodads running around. And, my plants did well. The humidifier I had running worked a little bit. It didn't really increase the humidity that much in the room. So eventually when it broke, I just said, to heck with it. I'm not going to replace this thing. And I didn't. I did not replace it, and I decided to see how things would do, and lo and behold, the majority of my plants did really well. And this is with no special, I didn't make any special arrangements to make this happen for the most part. But there are things that I noticed that helps with this low humidity environment, and it makes sense when I tell you what they are if you think about what humidity really helps your plants to do. So why do we want humidity? We want humidity to keep water from getting out of the leaves as fast. So when a plant sucks up water, it'll go up through the roots, then it goes out through the leaves when the plant takes in CO2. So if you have high humidity, the rate that the plant loses water through these little holes in the leaves that it uses to breathe is a lot less than in my environment. So how do I counteract this? Well, the answer is simple. The answer is I make sure my plants have enormous and healthy root systems. And I go to great lengths to find potting media and potting scenarios which will allow me to get my roots in as best shape as possible. So once you have a big plant that has lots of resources, lots of roots, then you just need to make sure you water the plant on time. And for the most part, it's not a big deal if you miss a watering or a little bit late when the plant's not in bud. But when the plant is in bud, I generally speaking make sure that it is a top priority when I think the plant is dry that I water the plant. And for the most part, I don't have that bad of bud blast. There's a few repeat offenders I have. I'm sure every collection has a few plants which has bud blast. It's a normal thing. I don't get it all that often. It's just a few plants that really don't like to bloom. One's my Rincovola Jiminy Cricket. For some reason that one bud blasted like 4 times this year. It's probably because I didn't water it on time. And the other one is this one that's blooming now, the Hanover Passion. Everything else seems to do just fine. And again, you want to find a potting medium that works well for you, that you know exactly when to water.